So, Act 3, Scene 1. The Grand Chamber in the Town Hall. Many present. Zaharia and the chairman at the table. Round the table, Negrescu and others. In the first row of chairs, Catzavenco with his group, which includes Vasilescu and Popescu. At the podium, Albescu. There is a lot of noise.
Allow me, please.
Gentlemen, honorable citizens, a little bit of silence. There are important questions, seriously topical. Have a little patience. Sir, you have the floor. You may proceed.
After having considered this problem from the historiographical point of view and from the juridical point of view, I will wind up as succinctly as possible.
Is that a promise? If only he knew how to keep it.
I beg you, don't interrupt me. Allow me.
Gentlemen, don't interrupt him.
So, after having considered this important problem, which is before us tonight, firstly from the historiographical point of view, and secondly from the juridical point of view, I will wind up, as I indeed have already indicated, before I was so discourteously interrupted, in a manner which is as succinct as it can possibly be.
He takes a drink of water, draws breath, and continuously slowly, as if telling a story.
In 1821, precisely.
If we're going back to 1821 precisely, we're done for.
Allow me. In 1821.
1821 precisely.
Allow me.
Gentlemen, honorable citizens, don't interrupt. Have just a little...
Patience? What patience? How can you expect us to have patience, Mr. Chairman? It's late, time is passing, and the speakers have registered a desire to take the floor.
Yes.
The honourable orator has promised to wind up as rapidly as possible. But how can he keep his word if he picks up his historical threads in 1821? It's unthinkable.
He's right. Allow me.
Dear sir, I think it would be better to jump to 40.
To 64 at least.
Yes,
64.
You mean to the referendum?
To the referendum,
yes. If you will allow me, Mr. Chairman, you have given me the floor. And it seems to me that the presiding chairman, once he has given a speaker the floor...
If you would be so kind, dear sir, do me a favor and move on to the referendum. It's the will of the assembly.
But, Mr. Chairman...
Let's move to the referendum.
Yes,
to the referendum.
The referendum.
Albescu takes another drink, continuously, resignedly.
Where was I then? In 1864, the time came for the hard-working people up and down the country to give their views in a referendum. But first, we need to understand exactly what is the place of a referendum, if indeed there is any place, in a representational democracy. Do we thereby risk elevating opinion above knowledge? How do we reduce a complex issue to a simple question that can be put on ballot paper? How are the legal and political consequences of their decision to be presented to the voters? Will the result bind the hands of Parliament? And what about the future generation? How do we decide?
We know what a referendum is. You think we're ignorant? We don't need any explanation.
No explanations!
No explanations!
Allow me, Mr. Chairman.
Dear and honorable gentlemen, I beg you, don't interrupt the speaker. A little bit of silence. These are important questions, seriously topical. Have a little patience. Sir, you have the floor. Please proceed.
When we speak of 64, we have to talk about the referendum. And when we speak of the referendum, we have to talk about 64. Everybody, or at least each one of us here present today, knows what 64 means. The referendum.
We're not here to discuss the referendum.
Allow me. It seems to me that when we say 64, and don't try to argue the contrary, I can demonstrate you with historical data to back me up that other peoples have had their own referendums, whether legal or not, with results that even their most fervent proponents would have to admit have been mixed at best.
Allow me. We are not here to discuss the referendum.
Allow me, Mr. Chairman.
Gentlemen, honorable fellow citizens, a little bit of silence. These are important questions, searingly topical.
How so, Mr. Chairman? Since when does 64 represent a searingly topical question? If I'm not mistaken, we are now in the year of grace 1883. What has 64 to do with 83? Recall the orator to the agenda.
Dear sir, please leave the referendum aside. If you would do something for me, let's return to the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, you have kindly given me the floor. And I think it's necessary...
No, it's not. No, it's not necessary.
If you would be so kind, as a favor to me, the Assembly wishes it...
The agenda! The agenda!
So we thus come to the question of the agreement.
Alas, that's it.
That's it.
Good. Now, at least have a little bit of patience. Be succinct, sir. If you would be so kind, is the wish of the Assembly, be succinct.
I beg you, allow me. You know my opinion on the agreement?
No, we're listening. Tell us. Let's hear the valuable opinion of Mr. Albescu.
My opinion is as follows. We're talking about negotiating an agreement, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, this is what I say, and what those who say should, along with me, do not wish to fall into an extremity. That is to say, I mean, yes, to show ourselves as moderates. Just like, allow me, as in, allow me, in 21, allow me, in 48, in 34, in 54, in 64, in 74 equally, the same as in 84, 94, and so on as far as concerns us. Not only us, but even to show an example to our sister nations of the Latin race throughout the world. Allow me, I've finished. Just two more words. So here, consequently, is my view. There are two options, we must choose one. Either we negotiate a new agreement, I can accept that, but then we should not change anything. Or else, we don't negotiate a new agreement, I can accept that, but then we should change just a few things here and there as regards to the essential points. There is no solution to the dilemma. I have spoken.
Applause, jeers, whistles. Albescu leaves the podium shuttered, goes to the back. Negrescu and his group shakes his hand. Catzavenco speaks quietly with his group. Enter Pristanda mysteriously, plucking Zaharia's sleeve as he was trying to ring his bell.
What's going on?
Mr. Zaharia, Mr. Tipatescu and Madame Zoe.
Well, what's up? Speak.
They are the next door in the office. They came in the back way. They're waiting for you. They want to see you immediately.
I cannot abandon my seat as chairman. They'll have to have a little patience.
They need to see you right away. Rupture the session.
Gentlemen, honorable assembly, to allow us all to time to reflect on the important intervention of our honorable fellow citizens and this distinguished lawyer, Mr. Albescu, I think it would be a good idea to suspend the session for 5 minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes.
Zaharia and Pristanda exit, scene 2. How could we consider sending such a specimen to Parliament? I admit he has his ideas and opinions, and I respect all ideas as long as they are sincere, and he is sincere without contradiction, just as I respect all opinions. But when he comes and inflicts on us his worn-out ideas and moth-eaten views, when he comes and tries to scare us with his Europe, with his civil unrest, with his economics, that I can't accept. Let him permit me to say to him, opinions of that nature I don't respect.
But you haven't understood his argument. He maintained that in conformity with history, and that's why he fears convulsions, we should not set a bad example to our sister nations of the Latin race. You didn't understand him, but he said that himself. Our sister nations of the Latin race. Yes, he said that.
You teachers, you're fine people, but you have one grave fault. As soon as someone mentions history, his
He's right, end of story. But if it's a question of history, what does that teach us? First of all, and in the beginning.
That Romania, since the time of Emperor Traian.
No, it's not that.
In other words, that our common ancestors.
What ancestor? And how is he ours? Don't you see that you don't understand anything? What history teaches us, first of all and in the beginning, is that a people which does not advance stays in the same place, and even goes back because the law of forward motion is immutable. The swifter the motion, the further one goes.
That's true. That's obvious.
Yes, you want progress. Progress without conservation. When we see that in Europe...
I don't want to know anything, sir, about your Europe. Romania. My Romania alone is what matters to me. Progress, sir, progress. It's in vain that you try to deceive the public by bringing us some scare tactics, your anti-patriotic stories, your Europe and your
Allow me, it seems to me, it's someone else who is deceiving the public.
I don't wish to hear about it.
Of course you don't. It wouldn't suit you.
Let Europe mind its own business. Have we ever taken the slightest interest in what goes on there? No. So Europe has no right to interfere with us. You, who are a lawyer, my colleague...
Lawyer, yes. Your colleague, no.
You are as familiar as I am with the juridical principle. Every man for himself, each to his own, honesty, be better.
If it comes to honesty, there is no comparison.
Why have you been persecuting me all this time, sir? What have you against myself? We stand before electors, sir. All hatred should be excluded. We compete. You're going to put forward your candidature. I forewarn you that I shall put forward my own. The electoral combat. That's the lifeblood of a community. We know that. Why do you rebel against the truth and the light? Against what's right? Honesty, be bere, sir.
Spare me your speeches, utter twaddle. You, honest? In one hand the Carpathian roar, in the other your accomplices, here regular opposition, and there the brown envelope in the pocket. The whole town is talking about it, sir.
The two groups separate, ready to fight.
I'm Albescu.
Let me be, my friend. Once and for all, I'd like to make all these gentlemen face the facts. You think that we don't know, that we don't see, that we are blind? You are the prefect.
I am the candidate of the young, intelligent and independent group. Our honourable and venerable chairman... Where is our honourable chairman? I don't see him. Will proclaim this evening, or so I believe, the name of the candidate supported by your committee. Your committee, I emphasise. If I have the honour to be accepted by your committee, because it is yours, isn't it?
It's no longer our committee, it's yours.
Albescu, be reasonable.
That's to say, if you will permit me, that you are no longer on the committee.
Yes, I am not part of it anymore. Me, who has always supported the party, whilst you, who have always insulted the party,
Allow me, please.
I don't allow you. You come here with your pedants, with your encyclopedias, with your newspapers, your illusionists, your conmen, to defraud the public. Your conmen, exactly.
Withdraw that word, sir.
With the young, intelligent, independent, and fraudulent group. You're going to hear from me, you bunch of charlatans.
Outside!
Exit everyone. Scene 3. Zaharia enters with Zoe and Tipatescu.
No, it's impossible.
My dear.
My dear friend,
If you have ever loved me.
if you are my friend,
Have a little patience. How can we support the candidature of a forger?
he is a forger, my friend, that's clear. But by the time the people realize, by the time he's brought before the court,
Think of that, my dear. He making us look ridiculous in court.
No. If there had been just one forgery, the letter to Zoe, I would understand. For the sake of politics, when the interest of the country so demands, he tried to force your hand, as any true Romanian would have done, because he knows how much you care about the honor of my little Zoe in your capacity as friend. And so he made this forgery.
naturally.
Naturally, that's politics.
Have a little patience. The gentleman plays the Machiavelli. Well, I'll show him some Machiavelli. The Holy Virgin is my witness. I can swear on the head of my little Zoe here present. She can say,
My dear,
I never played a diplomat in all my life, but if I have to take on the role of a Jesuit like Metternich, well, I'll show him how it's done.
I don't understand.
me neither.
Have a little patience. See, is that still for politics?
Zaharia takes a dossier out of his pocket.
You see these invoices with false endorsements, thanks to which the honorable gentleman has pocketed 5,000 lei from the Old Producers Association. Is that still in the interest of the country?
We are saved!
Saved?
You see, I told you that you should have a little bit of patience. That I catch him out.
My dear Maris, our candidate is Mr. Alexander de Piffle Ionescu.
I prefer that.
I'm scared.
With nothing more to worry about.
Write me the name of the candidate on a piece of paper so I don't forget it.
There you are.
I'm going to reopen the session.
Announce the candidature right away. Close the session and come and join us at the prefecture. We'll be expecting you.
I gave you the Catzavenco dossier. Don't lose it.
Don't you worry. Don't worry about that, dear friend. I'm not one of those people who lose important documents.
Tipatescu kisses Zoe secretly.
Ștefan,
And now for a bit of fun with Mr. Catzavenco.
Zoe and Tipatescu exit. Scene 4. The audience returns and takes up places as before. A lot of noise from them and bell ringing by Zaharia.
The hour is late. Let's move on, gentlemen. We have burning issues.
Mr. Chairman, I beg you, I also have requested to speak.
You have the floor, sir. You have the floor. You may take the problem.
Full of his own importance, Catzavenco pushes aside the crowd and ascends the podium. He puts down his white hat, takes a drink of water. He becomes increasingly emotional. The audience is silent at first, as he starts with a trembling voice.
Gentlemen, fellow citizens, friends, brothers, pardon me if I appear troubled, if emotion seizes hold of my whole being as I ascend this podium in my turn to tell you that like any good Romanian, like any son of the hard-working people, in these solemn moments I think of my country, of my homeland, of Romania, of its happiness, of its progress, of its future.
bravo!
My brothers, they have made a reproach against me, and I am proud of it. I accept it. It's an honor for me to say that I fully deserve it. They have reproached me for being an ultra-progressive, a free marketeer, for wanting progress at any cost. Yes, yes, yes. 3 times yes. Yes, I want progress, and nothing but progress. Progress in politics,
Bravo.
society,
Bravo.
economics,
Bravo.
administration,
Bravo.
and
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
I must ask you not to interrupt the speaker.
I have no fear of interruptions, Venerable Chairman. You may interrupt me, gentlemen. I have the courage of my opinion. And finance. Yes, we are ultra-progressives. Yes, we are free marketeers. Under the influence of these ideas, we have founded here, in our own dear town, the Romanian Economic Dawn, an encyclopedia cooperative society independent from the one in Bucharest, because we are in the favour of devolution. I don't accept the domination of Bucharest, of the metropolitan elite, the money-grubbing capitalists. We don't need them, because in our province, we too can do exactly what they do in theirs.
Bravo!
Our society has the aim of encouraging Romanian industry because, pardon me for mentioning it, but from the strictly economic point of view, it's not going particularly well.
Bravo!
Romanian industry is admirable. One can even say it's sublime, but it's completely absent. So, what is it that we acclaim, we and our society? We acclaim the labour, the work that nobody is doing in our country.
Bravo!
Gentlemen,
Suffer the voters to interrupt me, Mr. Chairman. I welcome interruptions. One of our great Romanian values is tolerance. But in the city of Constanța, for example, permit me this digression, it's sad, But true, unfortunately, there is not one Romanian businessman, not a single one.
Oh.
And only the foreigners go bankrupt. Can you explain this phenomenon? This mystery, if I may so term it.
Bravo.
Well, what does our society say? What do we say for our part? This is what we say. This state of affairs is intolerable. How long must we go on without our own bankruptcies? The English have their bankruptcies. The French have their bankruptcies. Even the Austrians sometimes go bankrupt. In fact, every self-respecting nation has its bankruptcies. Shall we alone not have our own bankruptcies? I repeat, this state of affairs is unacceptable. It cannot go on any longer.
While applause, Catzavenco takes some water and casts a terrible look at the audience. Enter Pristanda and the drunk citizen.
A little silence, please.
Catzavenco, who has taken advantage of the pause to cancel his papers.
My brothers, this is what is written down in the statutes of our society. In the first article, there is founded in our town an Encyclopedia Cooperative Society, the Romanian Economic Dawn. The aim of the society is as follows. Romania must flourish and all Romanians must be prosperous.
The drunk citizen who has advanced is staggering to a chair near the podium, now gets up and lifts a hand.
Me too, I'll offer that.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I must demand not to be interrupted.
But you said, sir, that you
yes,
had no
but,
fear of. Finally, please don't interrupt.
As I was saying, Romania must flourish and all Romanians must be prosperous.
Me too, count me in.
What? Who are you, sir?
Mr. Catzavenco knows me. Sarkophilian.
What?
Romania, the door.
A little silence, gentlemen. What?
Sarkophilian Consummation Ecumenical Society.
Dear,
Whatever.
he's tipsy. Tipsy as a new.
I'm a member.
Gentlemen, please show the honorable citizen the door.
Out! He's sozzled! Completely pissed out!
They push him towards the door. Catzavenco comes down to speak to his group.
Don't push me, my head is spinning.
Out!
I'm a member.
The drunk citizen exits.
Mr. Zaharia, sir, we need to move quickly. We have to settle Mr. Catzavenco's hash. Orders from Mr. Tipatescu. I'm outside. When I cough 3 times, proclaim the candidate and go out through the little door. Leave the rest to me.
Right.
When I cough 3 times, not before, my boys aren't ready yet.
Pristanda exits. Scene 5.
Please return to the problem, sir.
Zoe and Tipatescu are visible listening to what's going on from behind the grill.
I can't hear anything.
I guess Pristanda has not arrived yet.
My brothers!
Albescu is bringing back the drunk citizen.
They put you out? Is it possible, gentlemen, that you have allowed an honorable citizen, an elector, to be expelled from the assembly?
It's because Mr.
Sir,
Catzavenco...
Mr. Chairman!
A little patience.
Pristanda coughs 3 times.
The hour being advanced.
Allow me!
Given that some of the electors have begun to leave, it would be good, I think, since the election will take place tomorrow, to ask the Honourable Speaker to interrupt his speech just for a moment. Have a little patience in order that the name of the candidate proposed by our committee may be proclaimed.
I accept with pleasure, Mr. Chairman. And the name of the candidate?
Yes, the name of the candidate?
Stefan?
Shh, don't worry.
The candidate supported by our committee is...
Mr. Nicolae...
A little patience. Mr. Alexander de Piffle.
Piffle!
A little patience. It's not simple Piffle, but de Piffle. That's the aristocratic version. But that's not the last name. The last name is Ionescu.
Betrayal!
Allow me. Who has spoken of betrayal?
Me.
Out
with the royalists!
Get him out!
A little patience. And who is the traitor, honorable gentleman?
He who falsifies the name of the candidate after it has been established. He who forgets, who betrays the interests and honor of his family. You!
So, have a little patience, sir. You're making me blow my gasket. Forger me? Me, an honorable citizen, a venerable chairman, to be called a traitor in public? And by whom? By a painted forger.
Forger!
Out with a traitor!
My brother, sir, a moment, honourable citizens. I hoped to maintain silence about a shameful affair that has dishonoured our town for too long. I wanted to spare the public opinion, avoid the scandal, but today I have been so cruelly struck in my dignity that I am constrained to break my silence. This honourable citizen, this venerable chairman,
So, me?
this man is so naive that he takes a forgery, a handwritten document.
Ștefan?
Pristanda!
Pristanda entering with his policeman.
Here, okay, boys, let's go. They, along with Albescu and all his group, rushed the podium to grab Catzavenco. Whistles, thumping feet. Just before Catzavenco is swept away, we hear...
A letter from the prefect to
Get them! Get them!
General Browse Catzavenco's group fight back. Act 4, Scene 1.
Where is Catzavenco?
Zoe and Tipatescu are in Zaharia's garden.
Where is Catzavenco? Where can he be?
What do I know? He's run away, he's dead, he's crawled back underground. And so, why are you so keen to know? Why this worry at this precise moment? Do you imagine I don't know, I don't have enough problems? Just think, Zoe, think. For 2 days, our men have been in the process of electing Ionescu, who's going to arrive any moment. I have orders to receive him in triumph.
And so?
What do you mean, and so? So, that's 2 days since I crushed Catzavenco, and he has not shown himself. Where is he? Why doesn't he appear? He has the letter. Why doesn't he publish it? I don't know the reasons for this, for his disappearance, and his reasons for not publishing the letter are indifferent to me. It's enough that he does not publish. Do you believe a scoundrel like him would hesitate to do so if he could? So, here is the only one explanation. He can't publish.
You have no heart. Is that any way to look at things? Think what my life has been like for these 2 days. What frightful stress, what torture. Every person I meet, every face I see, each movement are so many occasions to knock me off balance. I have no strength left. Have mercy on me, Ștefan. I can't go on. One more day of this ghastly torment and I won't be able to go on living.
Oh, Zoe, don't be a child.
So you don't understand a thing. You don't have any feelings. In a few minutes, the election will end. Ionescu will be your elected member. Well, I'm sure, absolutely positive, do you hear? That at the very moment the villain who has hidden himself away and now watches us from the shadows will distribute his scurrilous paper with the letter to avenge himself. And what will become of me then?
Tipatescu takes the dossier out of his pocket.
That's impossible. If he does that, he's lost.
What do I care? How do you imagine it will console me when meantime he'll have lost me? I didn't ask you to avenge me, Ștefan, but to save me. I foresaw it. The day before yesterday, when the scandal erupted at a meeting, I foresaw that we'd end up like this. You must understand, he doesn't know that you have those documents that he falsified. He doesn't know that he only has to come here and accept an exchange of papers to save himself, and me too. That's the problem. He doesn't know. You wanted to play it subtle with Catzavenco, but you have deluded yourself. You've played with my honor and his career as the stakes, and you've lost because he plays better than us or because he's luckier than us. What is to be done? What is to be done?
Shh! Someone is coming. Wipe your eyes, wipe your eyes.
Scene 2, Zaharia enter with Ionescu.
I beg you, dear sir, please come in.
Who's that, then?
A stranger?
Allow me, dear Zoe, to present to you Mr. Ionescu,
Ionescu?
Ionescu.
our candidate. But he's already no longer a candidate. Our member, I should say.
I'm honored, dear lady. And the gentleman, he's Madam's husband.
No, I'm Madam's husband. Madam is my wife, as I have had the honor to present her to you.
And you?
Me, her husband. Me, Marius Zaharia, chairman of the permanent committee, of the electoral, of the committee for the election. Have a little patience.
Zaharia gives him a card.
There you have all the other committees.
Thanks.
Mr. Tipatescu, our prefect, my friend and a friend of my family.
Delighted, Mr. Chairman.
I'm equally delighted, sir. To what occasion do you owe the pleasure of seeing you?
To the occasion of the election, my dear chap. You know, the opposition have fought me here and there and then here again. You know, like everywhere. I couldn't get a seat. Me, from a family that's always been elected to Parliament ever since 45. Even my kid's brothers got a seat. But I couldn't get a seat anywhere. That's why I came here. For the election.
You shouldn't have put yourself to such trouble.
As for trouble, you're right. I had plenty of that. But in the end, I felt I had to show my face. At least that. And anyway, I wanted to promote my new book.
Of course, yes, it was necessary. Necessary, yes.
But what a farrago it turned out to be. Imagine, all that way in a barouche, and the roads, well, if we rely on our roads for freedom of movement, then the whole concept is just bollocks. The barouche shook and rattled and clattered and juddered. Inside I was jumping about, even somersaulting, and what a racket the carriage bells. My ears are still ringing. Deafened, shaken, jolted, exhausted. You can't imagine, my sweet little lady. You can't imagine, dear prefect. You can't imagine, Mr. Chairman, my friend.
Naturally.
That's understandable.
Just now when I arrived, I wanted to check into the hotel, but the coachman, who knew I was coming, pointed out the prefect to
Ionescu
me.
indicates to Zaharia. Zoe is whispering Tipatescu, who is laughing.
You can still laugh, Stefan?
Yes, I was passing by to check on the podium. It's going like clockwork. There's nothing to do, but I had to take a look, you know. In my capacity as head of the party, you know, I have to show my face.
What luck that I ran into you, old chap. Thank you.
Zaharia and Ionescu talk apart.
Look at him. So that's the person for whom I've lost my peace of mind? Sincerely now, wasn't Catzavenco preferable to him?
He's not particularly bright, I grant you, but he's worth more than that rascal. At least he's honest.
I will leave you here, sir, with Mr. Tipatescu and my little Zoe. I have to make an appearance at the elections. In half an hour they will open the boxes, you know. I need to be there. Don't worry, there's nothing to fear. The opposition here does not exist. We're wrong, sir. Very, very strong. You won't have a majority.
Oh, don't give me that. I hope you're not going to spin me that yarn about a minimum voting threshold. That's what happened in the other places.
Have a little patience. A voting threshold here? Don't even think of it. You won't have a majority, sir, because it will be unanimous.
Absolutely, yes. That's obvious. It couldn't be any other way.
I'll see you later, sir. Goodbye. Goodbye, Stefan. Goodbye, Zoe.
Zaharia exits.
As I was telling you, my friend, it's unthinkable that I shouldn't have a seat. Me, with my family since 45. Whenever we're not needed at the front, we're contesting elections. So you understand, to remain like that, with nothing, without the smallest constituency, incredible. Yet, it nearly happened.
Not to be elected, you with your merits, that's impossible.
Impossible.
Well, yes, dear, but despite my merits, it nearly happened, I assure you. Ask me, my friend, how come? And I'll be able to make a very clear reply. The Central Committee didn't want to know. They say I wasn't sufficiently outstanding. Insufficiently outstanding, me. But I had a bit of luck, sir. What an extraordinary piece of luck. One evening, someone, don't make me tell you who, a prominent figure, yes, and a bachelor, came to my place for a party, and he forgot his overcoat. The next day I got to put it on. I thought it was mine, then I realized it's not mine, so I searched the pockets, and what do I find?
What?
A letter.
A letter?
A little love letter.
A love letter?
A love letter that my bachelor friend had received from a colleague's wife. Don't make me tell you who he is. He's a celebrity.
And then?
And then?
It was simple, my friend. Simple. Quick. A cab. Straight to the person, the bachelor. Don't make me tell you who he is. He's a national figure. Find me a constituency, I tell him, or I'll publish this letter in the patriotic voyeur. He tries to negotiate, to argue, to pontificate in vain. He had no choice in the end but to concede. And yes, my sweetheart, that's how the telegram arrived here.
Ah, sir, you have acted badly. Your behavior, if you allow me to say...
Zoe.
Zoe moves away for a moment.
It's true, old chap, isn't it? That I have a head for politics. What else could I have done? If that idea hadn't come to me, I would not have been elected, and that, my friend, was not possible. Impossible. Imagine my family in all the parliaments since 45, with all the parties, impartial Romanians as they are, and me to remain without a constituency.
Naturally. But you didn't tell us the end of the story, the letter.
Yes, the letter.
What letter?
The letter from the bachelor.
What bachelor?
The celebrity, the love letter. Your political weapon thanks to which you have been elected.
The letter that you wanted to publish in the patriotic voyeur or else.
Oh, yes! The letter. Yes, I understand.
So, the letter?
So, what have you done with it?
I placed it under security at home, but in what one can call a safe place.
You didn't return it to its owner.
What? Give it back!
You will be elected. He kept his word.
You should return it to him.
How can you suggest, my sweetie, that I should give it back? I'm not so dumb. It could still be useful. If an occasion presents itself, I'll start again.
Ah! He's simple, but he's an honest man. Mr. Ionescu, I have a favor to ask you. We're inviting you to stay for luncheon, but please don't recount this story about the letter and the bachelor.
Yeah, it could make a disagreeable impression on the electors.
Oh, I won't say a thing about it, my friend, not a thing. But if I forget, I usually have a good memory, but now I'm knackered by the journey. It could happen that I forget, so if I forget, give me a sign. Where will I be sitting at the table, beside you or your charming wife?
What wife?
Madam.
What an idiot.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Ionescu. Madam is the wife of the chairman of the committee, the gentleman who brought you here, Mr. Marius Zaharia. Madam, Zoe Zaharia. I am Ștefan Tipatescu, prefect of this province. I am only a friend of Madam.
You're right, my friend. That's true. I'm muddled. Sorry, it was the journey. You can't imagine all that way in a barouche, with somersaults, with bumping, and those blooming carriage bells. My ears are still ringing. It's a severe case of tinnitus.
I have to take him somewhere to rest a while. He's absolutely stupefied.
Mr. Ionescu, wouldn't you like to rest up and relax a little?
I'd like that, my friend, but where?
Follow me, sir.
You can't imagine my sweetie, the barouche, its bells, my ears are still ringing. It's an awful case of tinnitus.
Zoe Ionescu exit.
And I got him elected. That's the man for whom I sacrificed for so long my own peace of mind and that of the lady I love. Where are you, Catzavenco, to contemplate your vengeance? Where are you to receive my apologies for having preferred this man of you? Honesty makes the man. This admirable, sublime, very dear, good friend, Ionescu. What a world! What a world!
Zoe's rushing back.
Did you hear that, Tipatescu? Did you hear? Your honest Mr. Ionescu, who succeeded, who triumphed, keeps the letter. What will the honest Catzavenco do? He didn't succeed. He gnaws his fist. He rages and watches me squatting in his hiding hole. I dare not even think about it. What is he doing? Where has he gone to call himself up, this serpent? From what will he spring out to sting us?
Zoe, man up. Be strong.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take anymore. Ionescu's words have robbed me of my strength and broken my heart. I'm going mad with fear.
She buries her face in her hands. Pristanda enters.
Madame Zoe,
Pristanda.
What happened? Speak.
Madame Zoe, I wanted to...
Tell me, don't torture me anymore. What happened? He's published it? Show it me. Show it me, I say.
Zoe, you're crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
Yes, I'm crazy. I owe that to you, and I thank you for it.
No, Madame Zoe, there's nothing has been publicated. The roar has not even appeared today. After Catzavenco's flight, the pendants began to argue among themselves. Then they even fell to blows and they beat up the priest Popescu. No question of any paper now. Their independent party has burst into pieces, little fragments. I want to tell you something in secret, by the way.
I told you how it would be. And Catzavenco?
I haven't found him. Crawl back to his cave.
Pristanda slapping himself on the forehead as he has just remembered.
Oh, I forgot for a moment, but I have suddenly remembered. I must beg your pardon, Mr. Prefect, sir. A message. Minister? No, the minister, 7 all of them, all are calling you urgently to the telegraph. That's why I came here, to look for you.
To the telegraph? What can they want from me now?
Oh, I don't know, but the telegraph hasn't stopped wiring for an hour, and sir, you'd better go there with post haste.
To hell with bloody politics. Zoe, take heart. I'm going.
Off you go then.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Zoe, be sensible. We are not lost. Don't worry. Goodbye.
Goodbye. How can I love this man?
Tipatescu exit, scene 3.
Madame Zoe.
You made me jump. What do you want from me? Go away and leave me alone.
Sorry, Madame Zoe, don't be cross. There's someone you know well. He wants to talk to you, but only to you. That's why I sent Mr. Tipatescu off to telegraph. I told him a lie, so that you would be alone. I know he'll make me pay for that, and for sending him on a fool's errand. He'll beat me and chastise me, but let him. I've already been chastised before. He's my posterior right. He's my boss who puts my bread on the table, my bread and that for 11 souls. So many mouths to feed. Yet I lied to him for your benefit, Madame Zoe. Will you receive him, right?
Zoe is busy with her own thoughts. She's not been listening.
Receive who?
Who? Mr. Catzavenco.
Catzavenco. He's here. Where is he? Show him in right away. Quick.
Right. This way, sir. Right, this way.
Catzavenco enter and Pristanda exits.
Mr. Catzavenco, you sought to ruin me, and you've ruined yourself too. Why did you run off, for God's sake? Why did you disappear? Tipatescu has a dossier which shows you falsified the invoices to take money from the Producers Association. Did you know?
I know, madam. I know, but what is to be done?
But you're crazy. You haven't all your wits about you. You ask me what is to be done, so you don't know. You save me, and I'll save you. I'll give you the dossier, and in exchange, you return the letter to me.
Madam, it's impossible.
What?
Your letter,
Well,
I don't have it anymore.
it's not possible.
I don't have it anymore.
You're lying.
I'm not lying, I don't have it.
Rich, what have you done with it?
I lost it.
Why can't I kill you?
Kill me, madam, kill me. But it's not my fault.
How did you lose it? When did you lose it? Where did you lose it?
At the meeting the other day when the brawling broke out, someone, I don't know who, snatched my hat. The letter was sewn into it, in the lining.
So it's true you've lost it?
Yes.
You've lost my letter, and you don't know, you don't even have the least idea into whose hands it might have fallen.
No.
No.
No!
You're ruined. Ruined. I may still be able to save myself. Yes. I've still some chance of being saved. But you're lost. When the prefect had you arrested, it was me who got you out of jail. Now it's me who will send you there, and you will not come out until the moment when I find the letter. It's the only chance you have left, that I find the letter. Pray the Lord that I find it. Ah, the tables have turned, Mr. Catzavenco. Lady Luck deserts you and passes over to our side. You're lost. Lost. Pristanda? Pristanda!
Madam, for the love of God.
Don't try to escape. All forgers like you end up paying for it sooner or later. Pristanda?
The drunk citizen enters with the white hat that belongs to Catzavenco.
It's not the policeman, it's me.
What do you want?
My hat.
It's you I'm looking for, Madame Zoe.
What do you want?
Ah, that's Mr. Catzavenco. Hello, Mr. Catzavenco.
What do you want? Tell me what you want.
I know what I want. But first, long leaf piece. Me, Madame Zoe, I found a letter.
That you allow the honorable Mr. Catzavenco to steal.
Forget it. I found another.
What's that to do with me?
Don't get cross, Madame Zoe. Wait and see. I haven't told you everything. Before devoting myself, as one may say, to politics, as in to say, to becoming a businessman,
a proprietor. I worked in the post office. And Mr. Zaharia knows.
Go on, get out once and for all. Leave me alone, Pristanda!
From that time, I've retained a habit. I bear letters to the address which is on the envelope. If there's no address on the envelope, I may write in pencil, recipient unknown, or perhaps untraceable, depending on how the case presents itself. But if I find the recipient, I give it to him. For example, now, the day before yesterday, in the fight in the town hall, I found a hat.
A hat?
The wretch.
A hat, yes. This one, in fact. And today, trying to stuff my head into it, it seemed rather too small. I wanted to take out the lining to enlarge it a little. But in the lining, what do you think I found?
A letter.
A letter.
A letter, yes, Mr. Catzavenco. Are you offering me to buy drinks again?
Show it me.
It's from Mr. Tipatescu. The addressee is you.
Quick, quick, give it here.
I'm really done for now.
Quick, if you really have it.
I've got it. I've now lost it. I didn't meet Mr. Catzavenco in the way.
Oh, the wretch.
Taking the letter out of the lining and handing it to Zoe.
You wasted your opportunity, you loser. You've thrown it into the sea. I could have helped you become someone.
I couldn't have acted otherwise. The recipient had a known domicile.
Sir, you're an honest fellow, an admirable man. You have no equal in this town. What's your name? Tell me, my gratitude.
There's no point telling you my name. Mr. Zaharia knows it. I'm a citizen, me too.
But how can I thank you? What can I do for you?
You can tell me who to vote for. In a quarter of an hour, the polling stations will be closed. And who should I vote for?
Oh, Mr. Ionescu.
Mr. Catzavenco, you still dare to open your mouth, and you're ironical too. There's no doubt you're bold.
Is it true what he says, Madame Zoe?
Yes, it's true. Mr. Ionescu, that's correct. It's possibly the only truth Mr. Catzavenco has ever uttered in his life.
I'm off to vote then. What's his name again, the top?
Mr. Catzavenco, would you be so kind as to fill up his voting slip for this honorable citizen? Please.
Zoe shows him the letter. He goes to the table and fills up the slip.
Allow me.
He passes it to her and she reads.
Alexander de Piffle Ionescu. Bravo, Mr. Catzavenco. You're a man of your word.
The drunk citizen is taking the slip.
I'm off now. Time's pressing.
I beg you, sir, to count on my gratitude whenever you wish to do so.
I'm in a hurry. Time to go to the polling station.
The drunk citizen exits. Catzavenco is falling to his knees.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
Get up. Are you a man? You should be ashamed. Get up.
Forgive me.
You're a wicked man. You've proved it. But I am a good woman, and I'm going to prove it. Now I'm happy. Now it doesn't matter that you meant to harm me because you did not succeed. Our Lord was not on your side because you're wicked. So I want him to be on my side to help me always. I will continue to be good.
Madam.
Don't tremble. You're safe. You have my word of honor.
I thank you. My devotion to you knows no limits.
There is one condition. After the election, there will be a public celebration. You'll be in charge.
I will.
You will preside at a popular banquet in the garden of town hall.
I will preside.
You'll organize a public rejoicing.
I will organize.
And you will come here with all of the citizens to acclaim the elected member and the prefect in the name of the electors.
Yes.
And your newspaper will report that this was the largest crowd ever to attend an inauguration ceremony in this town. In any town, in fact.
In any town.
We have understood each other.
Yes.
Go on then, and about it zealously. This is not the last time a new member will be selected.
Madam, you are an angel of bounty.
Thank you, you're very gallant. But on you go now.
I'm going. You will see that I know how to do it. My obeisances.
Catzavenco exits.
Can it be true? Am I dreaming? Ștefan! Ștefan! Oh! It's past. Ștefan?
Zoe exits.
What's up with Pristanda? He's gone mad. He sends me to the telegraph for nothing. He's playing tricks on me, or what? What possible sense does that make? And Zoe, where is she?
Zaharia and Ionescu enter.
Sir, the struggle here has been bitter. Whatever one may say, we've had our dramas.
How's that?
Infamous behavior. Imagine a fool, a rascal, in order to influence Tipatescu. You know him, the prefect.
Ionescu follows with attention but does not seem to understand.
Yes, you're right. You're not the prefect.
In order to destroy his rapport with me and my family, he fabricated a love letter, supposedly from the said Tipatescu, the prefect, to my little Zoe, and he imitated the writing of the prefect so perfectly that we could have been taken in. A masterly forgery.
Impossible. Anyway, in my case, it was real.
What do you mean real?
The letter really was from the person, the bachelor.
What do you mean the bachelor?
That's to say the unmarried guy.
Who?
Don't make me tell you who. He's an important public figure. When I gave him the choice, either the constituency or publish the letter in the patriotic voyeur, you understand, that did it, the telegram came here to you.
I don't understand. He's stupefied by the journey. The barouche, the bells.
He is a simpleton, this prefect. You tell him the same story twice and he still doesn't get it.
So Tipatescu entered happily.
So, as you have seen, Mr. Prefect, the storm does not last forever. Mr. Ionescu, luncheon will be served in the garden.
I was just talking to the prefect and he was telling
To the prefect?
To the prefect.
So, my dear, does your MP please you?
He's intelligent, but a bit tricky.
And he was telling me the tales of your election here, with the letter, with the forgery, and I was telling him that in my case it was all true, with the bachelor.
Mr. Ionescu, you promised me not to breathe a word about that story.
I made a commitment, me. When was that? In what context did I make it? What did I promise? Oh, yes. No, I don't remember.
Scene 5. Enter everyone, bubbles in hands. Citizens carry green branches and flags. Sparkling wine is served to the notables. Ionescu begins drinking, even though others are waiting for a toast to be proposed.
This is jolly good champagne.
Prosecco, in fact.
Oh, I've a lot of time for Prosecco, even if it is Italian. Good stuff. We'll drink their Prosecco as long as they buy our... What is it again? I know there is something you are world famous for producing in stonking great quantities around here.
Nuts.
Walnuts, especially.
I have been asked to propose a toast. It has been made clear to me that today we are welcoming our new member and that this is not the occasion to make a lengthy or detailed oration. If time had permitted, I would have liked to refer to some of the famous incidents in the political history of this region. For example, when in 1821 precisely...
Tipatescu sharply whispers in his ear.
Health and long life to our new member, Mr. Ionescu.
To the health of the electors in this fantastic constituency who have proved their patriotism by giving me their... What do you call them? It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh yes, their suffrages. Here's to you. Well, I certainly needed that drink. What a journey I had. I must say that this constituency, absolutely fantastic as it is not very well placed, is it, in relation to the capital? Please allow me to introduce myself. That's from a song, I think. My family has been installed in the parliament since 45, and I, myself, as a good, impartial Romanian, I'm not ashamed to be proud of our past, of our great heroes and statesmen who established our nation's place in the world, like Vlad the Impaler. I've just written a book about him. You can buy signed copies in the bookshop here. He should still be our inspiration and shining example, a true patriot with firm measures for dealing with foreigners. I know, some miserable moaners say that we went too far, but one thing's sure. He can be a lesson to modern politicians. He knew that what our people want to hear is, Never mind the foreigners. We are Romanians. Why would we need anyone else in our country? Romania first. Let's make it greater again, even more greater. That's what we say. As for Europe, they need us more than we need them. So, you see, in conclusion, whatever. Anyway, long live the electors.
Applause. His pause is for a drink.
Well, I can't believe my eyes. Here you are as one of us, sir. Bravo, I am delighted.
Yes, venerable chairman. In such circumstances, the lesser passions must give way. The people have given their verdict.
That's the way to talk, yes. Bravo, your health.
To the health of our venerable and impartial chairman.
To the health of Madame Zoe. She's a fine woman.
Forgive me. Let's be friends. Because we all love our country. We're all Romanians, more or less honest, but Romanians nonetheless. To the health of our dear prefect, may he live long for the happiness of our province.
Have a little patience, please. I don't know any prefect. I have no prefect, me. I have only a friend. Viva Ștefan Tipatescu! May he live long for the honor of his friends.
He hugs Tipatescu, then Zoe. Tipatescu kisses Zoe's hand. Ionescu is recounting his journey to Albescu Negrescu and others. He makes a gesture of the bells. Catzavenco profits from the moment to make a speech.
My brothers, after millennial struggles which lasted nearly 50 years, our dream has at last been realized. We have striven and we have advanced. Yesterday, doom and gloom. Today, optimism. Yesterday, pettifogging restrictions. Today, freedom. Yesterday, misery. Today, joy. There you see the fruits of progress, of democracy. The electors have searched deep in their hearts and have finally spoken. And I don't think we need any fancy experts to come here and tell us what they were trying to say. They have decisively rejected all the other old-fashioned and out-of-date candidates. It is a victory for the real, ordinary, decent, hard-working people who want me to lead them forward with a long-term plan for the benefit of all of us. To Romania. Something is breaking here and it's a new dawn. We advance boldly into the future and thanks to the voters, we can be sure it will be Titanic.
Absolutely Titanic. Music! Music!